Hey everyone, welcome back to the Chaos Champ. It's Franco. Now the Sun and Moon cards are out. There are different ideas and different decks being trying out. Today I decided to go over a deck that utilizes Umbreon GX and Zoroark. So we'll take a go over it and I'll explain some of the cards. So let's see. First of all, we have 4 of Energy Evolution EVs for obvious reasons. The Energy Evolution is very strong considering if you have a Dark Energy from your hand, even if you're going first, you can use the ability to evolve into Umbreon right away. So it's a very strong and it makes your evolution really consistent. So it's definitely it's a 4. Moving on, next we have 1 Flareon and 1 Vaporeon. For those who doesn't know the effect, there is a Flare effect and Aqua effect. Basically what it does is it provides, for example, if it's Vaporeon, it provides water type to all your stage 1s, and if it's Flareon, it provides fire type to all your stage 1s. So the benefit will be that your Umbreon GX and your Zoroark will get those additional types, and it could go for hitting for weakness and do a mass amount of damage. So I'll go more in detail slightly over. So moving on to next, we have 3 Umbreon GX. Let's take a look at it. Straight for 1 Dark Energy, 30, and you can switch Umbreon GX to the bench. That's a really nice attack, I'll say. 30 isn't so much, but considering it's only 1 energy, it goes really well with Energy Evolution EV because you can attach the Dark Energy and use Strafe right away to send Umbreon GX to the bench. So it's a nice option to have. And moving on to the next move, Shadow Bullet, 1 Dark, 1 DCE. It's very easy to use. It does 90 to the active and 30 to the opponent's bench. This is very strong considering if you were able to hit for weakness, such as cards utilizing Vaporeon, Flareon that I mentioned earlier, it can turn into 180 damage, and that could be devastating. Overall, even if you're not hitting for weakness, 90 is a solid number for 2-shotting, so it's really good considering Umbreon GX has 200 HP. The 30 on the back is very good as well because you can plan ahead and put the 30 to any potential threat for future knockouts. So you can set up the 30 thinking ahead of it. The GX attack, Dark Hole, discards 2 energy from your opponent's Pokemon. This is a nice addition for have as an option. Discarding the energy could potentially become the tiebreaker of the match sometimes. So overall, having all these options in one card seems to be a very good card for me. Umbreon GX, in my opinion, is probably one of the strong GX from Sun and Moon, so I really like it for that purpose. And it goes really good with, as I mentioned, with the effect Eeveelutions as well. So it's really nifty and it's a really cool gimmick they have. So yeah, here's the line. 4 EVs, 1 of each for the effect, and 3 Umbreon GX. You may add Jolteon if you wish, but for the most part, because you play the Umbreon, which allows you to put 30 ahead of it, and you also play Zoroark, it makes it really easy for the knockout to Shamans. And as I mentioned, you play Zoroark, and Umbreon is pretty bulky as well, so your Mega Ray matchup isn't too terrible either. I wouldn't say it's an easy matchup, but it's too terrible. But if you think you want to add that Lightning for other purpose, or just to make the matchup even more easier, yeah, I could suggest you adding Jolteon. But as for now, I felt like the Jolteon addition wasn't too necessarily, so that's the reason why I didn't put the Jolteon. The Flareon is mainly for grass type decks or metal type decks. Solgalia's it's a thing. Lurantis is a deck. Vileplume is a deck, and there was Decidueye is also a deck. So be able to hit for fire weakness, it's a nice option to have. And the Vaporeon is for obvious reason for Volcanion, since grass hype is kind of becoming a thing. Volcanion could be seen more in play. So be able to hit the Volcanions for water weakness, it's also a nice option to have as well. So those are the reasoning behind. Moving on, 2 Shamans, standard for draw purpose, and we have 1 Tauros GX. The Tauros GX is really nice since it's a good wall the more damage it takes, it does more damage. And if they don't do damage, you can hit for 60 for a single DCE. The Mad Bull GX is also a really strong GX attack, and you only need 1 DCE to do all this. So it's really good. Also has a good synergy with Umbreon GX in terms of strafe. You can do strafe and hit for 30, and then send the Umbreon back to the bench and promote Tauros GX as a wall. So it has like a really cool combo, and it's a nice tech for the deck. And moving on, it's 3-3-2 Zoroark line, very straightforward. A lot of you guys know the Mind Jack does 30 more damage, plus 10 for each Pokemon your opponent have in their bench. So generally it hits decently hard, since a lot of players play Shamans and they have to bench their Pokemons to set up their board. So it generally swings for a lot of damage. And as I mentioned earlier before, with Umbreon GX you can do 30 to the bench. So you can go ahead and put 30 damages to any other potential threats or attackers ahead of time, and that way, so oftentimes you don't have to rely for Zoroark on your opponent's bench size because they already have the damage on it, and sometimes those damage that you put ahead of it can make up enough for the knockout for Mind Jack as well. So on that aspect, they also have a nice synergy. And also the ability stand-in is nice, having nice retreating options, and with the float stone, pretty much you can move around your bench and active Pokemon. And there's going to be 2 Zoroark breaks since you already played Dark Energy. And Zoroark, why not play Zoroark break? Foul play allows you to copy one of your opponent's, one of defending Pokemon's attack. So you can, if you see any interesting, like a very strong attack or any strong GX attack that your opponent have, you can basically copy those attacks for a single Dark Energy. Plus the HP boost is also nice too, so overall it's a nice addition to the deck. The only thing you have to be careful about it is if you foul play a GX attack, basically you're using your GX attack for it counts as your own GX attack use. So when you foul play and you copy a GX attack from your opponent, make sure you're basically doing the right move, because you won't be able to use your GX attack for the remaining of the game as well. So that's one thing to look out for. And also, because this is a break Pokemon, once if you break evolve, you won't receive the type boost from Vaporeon or Flareon as well. So yeah, keep in mind on that part. So moving on for the trainers, we have 2 lovable. 2 lovable basically, it's for searching EVs and benching the Zoras quickly, and you can also search for the effect evolutions as well. I figured it would be better than Nest Ball because with Nest Ball you can search Tauros GX, but you're not able to search the effect evolutions, and sometimes you might need the effect evolutions right away, and you usually don't Nest Ball for Shaman as well. So I figure lovable would be it has slightly more use overall, but you could switch to Nest Ball if you like. Moving on, 1 Super Rod, just so you can get back on things if you need to discard the effect evolutions early game, or it gets knocked out or whatever, you can return those as well. So it's a standard recovery. 3 Trainers Mount for consistency, allowing to pick up specific trainers or just overall hitting supporters when you need it, increasing odds for consistency. 4 Ultra Ball standard, 4 Via Seeker standard, 2 Parallel City. 2 Parallel City is mainly used for discarding your own Shamans, and also used for like Mega Rayquaza or Rainbow Force or any other type of deck that utilize their bench. It kind of contradict with the Zoroark Mind Jack attack, but oftentimes you don't need to heavily rely on the Mind Jack, and you also still have Umbreon GX. And despite, even with Parallel City, you should be able to hit, I want to say roughly 100 damage at least with Zoroark if they have 3 bench maxed out as well. So the damage output isn't so terrible. So you can use that. The one thing I'll say to look out is if you Parallel City the red side on your side, and if you have the effect evolutions, you'll do -20 to yourself. So make sure you don't do that. I'm not saying you don't need to play Parallel City all the time. It's just it's more of a situational use stadium. So there are going to be times where you can just you can opt it out to play it and just discard it and just move on with it. So it's just option in the deck. And then the supporters are 2 Lysander, 3 Ed, 1 Professor Kukui, because drawing 2+2 can be devastating sometimes. So 1 Professor Kukui for just damage output increase, and 4 Sycamore, 2 Floatstone. It has a good synergy with Tauros, it has a good synergy with Zoroark, so why not? 4 DCEs, and 8 basic Dark Energy. So this is the deck. If you like, build it up, try it out. There are a few things you can switch it out. Like I said, you could add the Jolteon if you wish, and the list overall you can tweak around a little bit more as well. But as far as for this list, this is the overview. So if you like the content we make, please hit like, make a comment, or if you wish, you can subscribe to the channel as well, and stay tuned for next video. But thank you very much. So until next time, goodbye.